28 countries in the world use the death penalty, and 31 states in the U.S. use the death penalty as well. According to Amnesty International, the U.S. ranks 5th highest in the total number of executions worldwide. The death penalty in America has existed since the 1600s, and the most common crime under capital punishment is murder. The death penalty is heavily debated. However, I will provide several reasons for why the death penalty should be a practice punishment and why it should stay legal. For one, the cost of housing and providing for inmates is extremely high. The average cost to provide for every inmate is approximately $31,000. The states pay this with taxpayer money. So we should ask ourselves, should we really be putting money into providing for people who have committed crimes malicious enough to be on death row? We could be putting this money into education systems or our infrastructure, just something we could put it to better use. Some will argue that the death penalty is unethical and it does not significantly change the crime rate. But while the death penalty can be seen as unethical, pretty much the rest of the arguments can be disproven, and the reasons favoring the death penalty highly outweigh the reasons that do not favor the death penalty. Like it provides justice and it provides closure for the families of the victim. Everyone guilty of doing such a horrible crime has to be punished. And I know due to stories that I've read and research that I've been doing lately, I know many families have been eager to see the perpetrators behind bars and eager to see these criminals on death row, like getting what they deserve for doing such horrible crimes. And while the Constitution does not permit cruel and unusual punishment, the severity of each of these crimes that meets the criteria to be considered for death row makes the punishment not cruel or unusual. It also acts as a deterrent, and if these people are executed, they have no more impact in the world. They can't commit any more crimes, hurt anyone else. Even if they were to stay in prison, they could still hurt other inmates and still possibly get out. The trials are also completely fair and unbiased. They get really good public defenders. The outcome is completely ensured. And while false convictions have happened before, they're very unlikely and it's not a common thing for that to happen. And while we are killing these people, it is the most humane way to do this. And here I have a graph that shows the correlation between the number of executions and the number of murders. The dark line you see there is the number of executions, and the light line is the number of murders. And as you can see, as the number of executions go down, the number of murders goes up, and vice versa. So this evidence shows that the death penalty is effective, and without the death penalty, there is not really an incentive or for these people who are who have something mentally wrong with them. There's not really an incentive for them to stop committing this crime because there's not really a severe punishment. So in conclusion, I would just like to state that the death penalty has brought closure to so many families, and it prevents more harm from being done, and it eliminates a problem, and it's just a lot cheaper than having to pay it day in and day out for people who have done nothing but be a harm for society.